Hello, my loves. Today I'm wearing a Halloween shirt. This one is from Victoria's Secret. Actually, on the back, I'll show you guys. It says here for the booze. It's like the cutest thing on planet Earth. So, as you can see, I am already prepped and ready to go for a spooky story time video. The sun is setting. I just filmed a little bit of an update video and I needed kind of like a pick-me-up, so I thought, what better way than to scare the crap out of myself? Because that's what I like to do, and I know that you guys enjoy it too. So if you love these scary storytime videos, pause this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I love to make scary storytime videos for you guys, and knowing that you like them makes me want to make more. I feel like I should like put back my hair so that you can see the skeleton hands. Is that strange? I'll just like bring down the top bit. I don't know, I really want you to see the skull hands grabbing my boobies. Also, these glow in the dark. Living, me, same. So 2 of these are going to be about dreams that I had when I lived in my super haunted house. If you are not a familiar watcher of these scary paranormal stories, the house that I used to live in was insanely haunted. Like literally feet not very far away from an Indian burial ground that had been built on top of. There was like an abandoned mine that ran under my house. This house was freaking terrifying. One of the worst dreams that I ever had there was still one that I do not forget to this day. I remember it like it literally happened, and that's why I want to tell it, because I don't know if this was like an omen. I don't know if it really happened and I thought I was dreaming. It was weird. Rude. My bedroom, so when you walked into the front of the house, my bedroom was the first one to the right. And this will make sense later. There was a door that I had like my bed in front of. And that way, I don't know, I didn't like the idea of there being a door to enter my room right when you entered our house. So there was a door that entered it, my bed was in front of it, so you could never open it. I woke up in my dream. And in the dream, my cat was beside me and he was growling. And he wasn't really a growler, so that was kind of strange. And I didn't know that I was dreaming. I thought I was awake for real. And in the dream, I look over, my cat's like growling, but I can't move. I'm completely and totally paralyzed. I can't lift my hand, I can't open my mouth to comfort him, and I start like screaming in my head like, I can't move, I can't move. Oh my God, what is happening? And sleep paralysis is a thing that happens. But I still, to this day, don't know if I was actually paralyzed or if it was all a dream. I probably should have started with that. My doorknob, the one that my bed was like blocking off, started to jiggle. And I remember being scared, like ishless. Like I could not move. The doorknob was jiggling. Someone was trying to get into my room, and the only, like when you entered the house through the front door, that was the first door that you saw. So I'm thinking, someone has broken in, someone's gonna kill me, blah, blah, blah. And then I hear really light footsteps and I still can't move. I'm just staring into the darkness. I hear my door start to slowly creak open. And this is the door, so it wasn't the door right when you entered the house. It was like the actual door that I used to get in and out of my bedroom. And so the door starts to creak open. And I'm just laying there and I'm terrified out of my mind. My heart is like racing. My cat is growling still. And as the door starts to open, he growls louder and louder and louder, like right in my ear. And the door just keeps opening. Light from the hallway slowly floods the room. And finally, it stops creaking. And it's like all the way open. The minute that the door was open, I could see again. But I wasn't seeing from my own body. It was like, and I never had an experience where I floated out of myself or where I like felt like, I don't know, it was, I've heard people talk about sleep paralysis and being able to like travel out of their own body, like astral projection and stuff like that. I think Shane Dawson did an entire chapter about that in his book or something like that. I know that he talked about it once in his experience, but it wasn't like I remembered floating out of my body. It was like the door was open, I could suddenly blink, and I wasn't in my body anymore. I was staring at myself from like, okay, so my bed is here. I was in the corner, probably like off to the like side. So I was watching myself sleeping. I realize I'm not in my own body anymore. And before I can even process it, suddenly out of nowhere, this woman walks into the room really quickly. And she just stands in the doorway and she stares at me, but not like me in the corner, like me sleeping on the bed. My cat starts hissing uncontrollably. Oh, I've got chills. and he jumps off of the bed and runs out of the room past her. You know, he didn't want to see it. Me either. Same. And so this woman is staring at my body, in this dream in particular. She was totally normal. She looked like a nice old lady, basically, but she had no expression on her face, and I don't know how to explain it, but she was just completely and totally blank. Ooh! Hello? Hi, Ed! Okay, well that scared the crap out of me. Also, look! My shirt's starting to glow! So, okay, I'm watching myself from my, like, corner, and the woman has no expression on her face. And she slowly walks to the end of the bed, and she never acknowledges me, like me in the corner. She just stares at my body. And she sits down on the edge of the bed, like she slowly walks down to the foot of the bed and sits down and just stares at me. And I'm panicking from where I am, because even though she has no expression, something about her just feels wrong. Like something feels really, 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 really wrong. And so I'm standing in the corner and I'm freaking out. I'm trying to figure out how I can get into my body, and she never acknowledges me. I keep like trying to get out of the corner, but something is like holding me there, like screaming, I'm crying, and this goes on for what I feel like would have been hours, but it may have not been that long. I realized like I'm not gonna get back in my own body. Like this woman is going to hurt me, and I'm gonna die. I don't know why I thought that, but that's what I thought. And so I felt so defeated, I felt so scared, and I just kind of like fell back and closed my eyes. And I was like floating, I was in the air, but I closed my eyes because I was so tired from like fighting like something that was holding me back that was like invisible. And when I opened my eyes, I was back in my body, and I was staring at the woman. And when I opened my eyes and looked at her, like sitting at the edge of the bed, she was like furious. Like her expression went from like blank to like, she was so mad, and she screamed and she lunged at me. So like she's at the edge of the bed, can't talk, and she lunges forward, and I wake up for real. And that was when I realized I was dreaming, or something happened. And they say that you can only dream about people you've seen before, but I had never seen this woman, and I remember her face so distinctly. And just, I mean, she was like a generic old woman. She had like gray hair. She had wrinkles on her face. She was beautiful. I feel like I would have recognized her if she was like real. So that dream really freaked me out. And then a few nights later, I had another dream about her. And this is the last one I'm gonna tell for this video, because I didn't realize that story was gonna take so long. And I really am like so impatient to get this edited and put up so I could hear you guys' thoughts. So the next dream that I had about her was another one when I was in the same room. I'd been kind of freaked out for the last couple of days, like some weird things were happening in my house. But after I went to sleep, I had another dream about this woman. And in this dream, I didn't know it was her this time. I just remember we were sitting down at a table and we were having lunch together. Like we were drinking tea, we were hanging out. I remember laughing and talking, and I don't remember about what, but I just remember we were having fun, we were having a good time. And this woman was just so beautiful. I looked at her and I almost felt like she was like my grandmother or something. There was something so lovely and peaceful about her in this particular dream. She wasn't my grandmother, but that's almost like the vibe that I got. I remember for some reason thinking, it's time to go, I have to go now. And so I stand up and I thank her for the tea, and I tell her I have to go now. And her face returns from like smiling happy to that really blank expression, like nothing on her face. And she just stares at me. And I'm standing up, we're at this table, and she's just staring at me. And I look around, and that's when I realized this entire time we had been sitting in a blank room. The walls were white, the ceiling was white, the floor was white. It was just vast whiteness. Nothing was around us except we were at this table, and there was a door. And it was like off to my left or something. And that was the way to get out. And I remember just kind of feeling sort of panicky, like, okay, I shouldn't be here, I have to go. And she looked so not even displeased, she just had no expression anymore. And for some reason, I felt that she was not happy with my decision to leave. And so I told her, you know, okay, it was so nice to see you, goodbye. And I walked away, and I started walking towards the door. And I walked, and I walked, and I walked, and I walked, and I never reached the door. It would be like I just kept walking, and it was so far away, and I would look back at the table, and I was like a considerable distance from the table, but I was never reaching the door, and I just kept going and kept going and kept going, and I started to panic because I felt her staring at me the entire time as I was walking away. And I kind of broke into a run. And when I broke into a run, the door started getting closer and closer and closer, and I finally grabbed the doorknob. And when I did, I looked behind me to make sure she wasn't like, I don't know, following me, like she couldn't follow me out the door, because something just felt really, really, really wrong, like I said. And when I looked behind me, the table and her were directly behind me, and she grabbed my wrist. And when she did, I looked at her hand and I realized everything was like decaying from like her wrist down, and I like followed everything up to her face, and she was like falling apart, like skin, this is so gross, but like skin was falling off of her face. It was disgusting. Like it was like she was a zombie or something. And she said in this like absolutely, there was no sadness, there was just anger. And she said, "Don't leave me." And I woke up. And I remember just like grabbing my wrist, because I don't know if it was because I had that dream or what, but it felt like it was hot. Like it was like I had burned it or something. There was no mark or anything like that, but it felt hot. And then there were a couple of other dreams with her that I still don't fully understand, and I don't know who she was. She only appeared like maybe a year or two or something like that when we lived in that house. Like it wasn't like I dreamed about her constantly or I saw her all the time. It was like she came out of nowhere, and I still don't know what it was. I think it was paranormal personally, and it was scary as heck, because there were things that were paranormal that were kind of coinciding with this, and I'll tell those in another video because this one's already getting really long. But I just wanted to let you guys in on a little bit more by paranormal story time. And I know you all love them, and every time I talk about paranormal stuff, it gets so much worse. But anything for you guys, because I just want to make you happy. So I hope you guys liked this video in particular. Let me know what you think it was down below. Once again, I've looked through family photos. I've looked everywhere. Like, you know, obviously this is not someone I recognize to this day. I don't know who she was. She wasn't someone I knew. Her face was like completely and totally unfamiliar to me. And so I don't know what it was, but I'm really excited to hear your thoughts. It's getting dark and my freaking hands are just glowing away. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Give this one a thumbs up if you liked it, and maybe I'll do more paranormal story times towards the end of this month. Make sure to watch some of my last videos down below. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I love you all so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.